Hi, this is Heidi from Garden Crossings, and today we went and took a field trip out to Carlton, Michigan to the 4-Star Display Gardens. So for those of you, this is Michigan, okay? Carlton is somewhere down here, and we are over here in the Zeeland area. So we took a trip downstate and over to come visit these beautiful display gardens. So today what we're going to do is we're going to walk through the gardens. We're going to look for the new plant varieties so I can show you them in just a big mass display. We're going to do a lot of individual features on plants as well. So be watching in the next few days or the next few weeks for little videos that are just quick little 1 to 2 minute videos on a particular featured variety, and also big video that just shows you lots of what's going on here. So let's go and take a walk through the gardens here at 4-Star. So we're going to take a walk down this long pathway here, and as you can see there's a lot of different aquapots on either side of me, and we're going to look at the different plants that are within these aquapots. A lot of these are annuals that maybe I've never featured before. Some of them might be new varieties, and some of them might be older varieties that have been out. So we'll start off and start at the beginning here. This is the Hypoestes. This is the white polka dot plant, a great foliage plant. It's in the full sun here. Another thing I'll point out, this is a zone, probably I think there are 5 or 5B here in Carlton, but a beautiful plant just if you're looking for something that the foliage is going to give you the splash of color. This can be grown in obviously full sun, and it can also handle shady areas as well. They have it planted with the lemon coral sedum, which is a little bit, like a shady plant with a sunny plant, but you can see they're doing very well in this aquapot. Lemon coral sedum is a great plant for borders. It's drought tolerant, can be grown in the full sun to part shade location, and kind of an interesting combination. Next we have the perfectly pink Angelonia. This is a great thriller for in container combinations. Really a beautiful pink with these nice spiky flowers. This is a full sun annual. Maybe part shade if you're doing like the afternoon sun, morning shade. But really a great upright thriller for combinations. They have it paired here with the Berry Blend Lantana, a really nice vibrant pink that pairs nicely. Lantana is a drought tolerant plant. It's great for attracting hummingbirds and butterflies to the garden. Just a really easy to grow plant, especially if you're somebody who maybe doesn't water very well. We'll jump the aisle over here to this combination. This has I believe this is the Lime Time Coleus. I was smelling it because I was wondering if it was the Golden Delicious, but it's not. This is the Lime Time Coleus, grown in a full sun location. It also likes to be grown in a part shade location. Usually with these Color Blaze Coleus, what you're going to find is if they're in full sun, is you're going to get a much more intense coloration, and that's what's happening here. It's a lot brighter, where if you were in a shady spot, you'd have deeper shades of green. Underneath it here, it looks like they have it paired with a Supertunia Vista Paradise. Vista Paradise is a vibrant magenta with a little bit of a, I'm going to say like a purple shimmer to it, kind of an iridescent look. Vista Paradise is a great plant, not only in the container, but also a great ground planting where you just get this massive color with petunias. One thing to point out with the Supertunias, they do not need to be deadheaded, so they're super easy to care for. We do recommend fertilizing once a week. Next, this little combination here has more of the Berry Blend Lantana with a little bit of the Over Easy Super Bells, and then some of the Osteo Moonlight Osteospermum flowers. This planter here, maybe not doing quite as good in the aquapot. Aquapots are always constantly giving these plants moisture. Keller Bacoa or Super Bells aren't a annual that love a lot of moisture, so maybe if it was just in a regular container, not watered as often, it might be doing a little bit better. The Osteos, they're a plant that usually in the summer they kind of slow down on the flower production, but with a Bright Light series they tend to hold on and just continue to flower throughout the summer, which they definitely are flowering here, but as fall comes I think we'll notice that the flowers just explode and we'll see a lot more flowers in this container. Heading over here we have Gara. This is the Stratosphere White, just really a pretty kind of an airy looking plant, a nice thriller in a combination. Just really airy and wispy. It's planted with the lobelia dark blue. Lobelia typically, I feel they're more of a shade or part shade type of an annual, but you can see here it's doing great in this full sun location. Next, this is a great combination. This is the Supertunia Jazzberry. So this is the new Supertunia for 2022. I love the bright purple hue of this. We use this a lot at the greenhouse, if you watched any of our videos in the greenhouse landscape, and it just has done phenomenal. They have it paired here with the Prince Tut grass. Prince Tut is it's a nice, fairly-ish compact plant. This one's probably about 24, maybe 30 inches tall. It's the end of summer, it's August right now, and it's really dense, but really a nice pairing there with two plants that can grow in similar situations, and both of them are very vigorous, so they play well together. Crossing over the aisles, we have the Coleus. I believe this one is Velveteen. They don't have any of these labeled, so I'm kind of trying to do this from memory, but I believe this is the Coleus Velveteen, which does great in a full sun area or part shade. It's got beautiful rich magenta with deep burgundy serrated edges. And then it's planted here with the Supertunia really red petunia. Here's a new one for 2023. This is the Supertunia Mini Vista Midnight. Deep dark purple flowers. Look at this beautiful coverage. So it's not loose like some of the Supertunias are. It's got a nice dense type habit. This just a ball of color. So I mean, just nowhere are you really seeing much green coming through. Excellent plant not only for containers, but also in landscape planting. And if we look underneath, they have some Dichondra Silver Falls in there, which is really a great plant as a spiller in containers. If you've heard me in any of my videos talk about like a jellyfish planter, that Dichondra Silver Falls is what we use in a jellyfish planter as well. Next, this is the Supertunia Priscilla, which is a beautiful kind of a double flower, light lavender, kind of a little bit of deeper lavender with a lighter purple edge. Really a nice double flower. They have it paired here with the Mini Vista White Supertunia, and you can see they're playing pretty well together. Both are kind of hanging out well and the vigor matches. They have a little bit of the Lobelia Violet Night in here as well, which is kind of being taken over. But I'm sure in the beginning of the season, this planter looked a lot different than what it looks now. So really a pretty combination using the lavenders and the whites. Next, we have the Supertunia Lovey Dovey, along with the Supertunia Mini Vista Hot Pink. And there's also a few Superbena Stormcloud in this planter. The Stormcloud definitely here now that it's mid-August is being swallowed up. But you can see the Lovey Dovey and the Mini Hot Pink are really doing great as a combination together. Across the aisle, looks like we have some of the geraniums, which are kind of getting eaten up by the Superbell's Yellow and then the Superbell's Coral Sun. This is doing really good together with that yellow and coral sun. Like, I love that color combination. The geraniums are really trying to do their thing and hold on there, but these Superbells are really taking over in this container and looking quite nice. The next combination here has the Supertunia, I believe this is going to be the Supertunia White Out mixed with Supertunia Mini Vista Indigo, and then there's also Superbena Violet Ice. These are all very complementary as far as vigor. They're all pretty much holding their own. They're all very evenly represented in this container, and it's doing really great together. This next container is a beautiful display of two different Coleuses mixed together. It looks like they have maybe a little Diamond Mountain and then some of the Begonia Santa Cruz. We've got Albrido Coleus and then Limetime Coleus. And then the little wispy white you're seeing, that's the Diamond Mountain Euphorbia, and then the Santa Cruz Begonias. So the thrillers, the fillers, and then the spillers. This combination here would be the Supertunia Vista Fuchsia paired with a Superbena, I think it's just called Superbena Pink shades. Really a beautiful combination as well. The fuchsia seems like it might be taken over just a little bit, but the pink shades do give it just a little bit of a nice contrast, kind of breaking up that hot pink a little bit. Next, this is new for 2023. This is a Swedish ivy. Just, you can see basically it's just kind of a filler in the container, spilling, hanging over, nice variegation. They have it planted here with a Superbells yellow. And then on top, this is a new Coleus for 2023. This is the Color Blaze Mini Me Watermelon. So just very fine, dainty leaves, heavily serrated, shades of magenta and burgundy in there. Doesn't get really as tall as some of the other in the series, but just nice fine foliage. This planter here has more of the Prince Tut grass in it, along with the Supertunia Vista Snowdrift. And then there's a little bit of Diamond Snow Euphorbia mixed in there as well. Kind of a very mono looking planter, but a neat look, and it looks great there in that aqua pot. This next planter here, interesting. We've got the polka dot plant. Looks like polka dot maybe rose or pink, along with Berry Blend Lantana. And then this in the middle here is such a pretty plant. This is the Senecio Angel Wings. It's so velvety feeling and so soft. I love the bright silver. This is more of a, actually like a succulent type of a plant. And they have in there a couple geraniums as well, but this is just one of those kind of touchy-feely plants. It's just so soft and looks really great with these plants that it's planted with. Next, we have the Oenothera Plum Dandy, which is this deep burgundy foliage you're seeing, mixed with Supertunia Mini Vista Indigo. Great look. I'm sure at the beginning of the season, the indigo was maybe a little bit more predominant, but this really takes over after time. Looks great in a container, but this is also too another great plant for in the landscape. So nice look there with that deep, rich foliage and the bright purple blooms. Continuing on our way, this here they just did a mono planter. This is just all a sweet potato vine, probably like Sweet Caroline, Sweetheart Lime if I had to guess. But really it's pretty, just this plant in the container, creating a nice mounding habit, super dense. Kind of a neat different look. Next planter here has the Salvia Unplugged Pink. Great plant for the hummingbirds. More of that Supertunia Whiteout. Looks like they planted a couple of Violet Ice Superbena, but those have pretty much gotten eaten up by this whiteout. Another beautiful container of just all jazzberry. That is a great plant. What do you think about jazzberry? Next, we have the Lantana Royale Red Zone, which is a beautiful lantana that's got a lot of red in it. It also pulls shades of orange and yellow. And here they have it planted with, I'm going to say this is Supertunia Red, but it might be Surfinia Red. So don't quote me on that. I'll try to look it up to see if I can figure out which one it is. But really a nice pairing with the nice red petunia. Pulls out the reds here in the lantana for a really neat looking container. This container here has what I think is probably one of my favorite new annuals for 2023. This is the Nemesia Aromance Mulberry. This plant has done great in my containers at home, at the greenhouse, and here too at 4-star greenhouses. Beautiful, beautiful plant, blooming even in the heat of the summer. Just kind of a nice little airy feel. They have it planted with, I believe this is like a plum dandy. And there's even a little mizu tucked in, which is kind of getting gobbled up. But a little bit of that succulent mizu vine in here. And they also did a calla lily in the center, which the calla lily is not doing well. From my experience last year, we tried planting calla lilies in the aqua pots, and that just did not work out well. So, and it's looking like here too, it's not working good. Another Prince Tut grass with the jazzberry. They've kind of repeated this one a few times, so obviously this is a great combination in their mind as well. Chocolate drop coleus, planted with some of the diamond snow euphorbia. Not my favorite look. But I think we'll end here with this one. This has the Caladium Chinook, which is really a beautiful, beautiful caladium. It's planted with some of the new Tradescantia for 2023, which I think this is really quite a nice pairing with this just kind of dense but wispy, kind of hanging out there with the caladium. And then there's a little bit of ivy here that they're using for the thriller, or not the thriller, but the spiller in this combination. So kind of a different look, but a unique look. I hope you've enjoyed walking through, checking out some of these different container ideas. I'm going to start heading out to the garden and get some more video footage, so stay tuned for a lot of videos coming your way from the greenhouses here at 4Star. If there's anything that you're liking in any of these tours, you can always shop online at gardencrossings.com and we will mail them straight to your door. Or if you're local in Zeeland, Michigan, stop on into our retail store and we'll get you hooked up with any of these beautiful plants that you're liking. This is Heidi from Garden Crossings.